Alright, in this video we're going to rewire up the mass airflow sensor and the ambient air temp sensor on the Mustang. Gave me a check engine light for it like once, and I think it's actually a pretty big reason why it's running so rich is because the mass airflow sensor is the 4-pin one off the Mustang, but the V10 truck ran off the 6-pin one. So we're going to do a little work on the wiring harness to get it set up to have the 6-pin mass airflow sensor in there, and then see if that makes a difference on how it runs. So this is the Mustang's mass airflow sensor. Pretty sure I wired it up right, but we're gonna go ahead and redo all that and have the ambient air temp sensor, which is over here, in the mass airflow sensor once we're done. Should be fun. Right, Taylor?
Yeah.
First things first, we'll just get the new sensor in. Whoa, that's not what that's supposed to look like. That's what it's supposed to look like. So this might be all that this one is. Because I know it's measuring the volume of air and the humidity and all that, so it knows how much gas to put in. So it needs a fixed volume to measure it around. So it looks like it's sending it through a pipe in this one, and then the sensors can measure it, right? Whereas the V10's one makes its own, the sensor itself has its own fixed volume that it sends the air through. And then this outside is the ambient air temperature sensor. Whereas this one, since it only has 4 pins, the ambient air temp sensor is outside of it. So either way, they're quite a bit different, so I'm sure that's not helping our engine run properly. So this is the piece off the truck, which should be interchangeable with that, which will make it easy. Undo those bolts that clamp, and then we'll put the new one in with our sensor.
Don't skewer me.
It's alright, Dad, you can trust me. There we go. Oh, see, it's built in. So it's part of the cover, or the housing. Interesting. Look at the difference. This is the Mustang's V8s. This is the V10s. The trucks. I guess I should have looked at that way before now. I didn't really expect them to be different. Okay. So the Mustang's mass airflow sensor was over here. Or the whole Mustang intake was over here. So I tapped into the wires of that over here and ran them over this side. Okay. So we're just gonna check that they're correct, because I don't want to assume that this is wired correctly. Air temp. Just use this one. If I ever think I'm done, I'm sure there's soldering I should be doing.
I think that job's endless.
Yeah, me too.
Soldering these wires.
I'll probably do a cheat sheet and write down what means what. Yeah, gray and red, black and white. Okay. So now just gray, straight black.
Straight black.
Just black.
Ooh, it's doing it. It's doing the thing.
Okay.
Cool.
I like it. Alright, so we have, this is the Mustang book, this is the truck book. F-250 Mustangs, right? Basically, we just want to make sure that we are wiring up the mass airflow sensor coming out of the Mustang body correctly into solder in for the correct sensor.
Yes.
And looks like gray red, light blue red for pin 5, and gray for pin 6. So the only one that's different is pin 3. Black and white on the trucks, and then straight black on the Mustangs. This is saying tan and light blue. Could that have been orange and
yeah.
light blue?
I think it was more of a tan.
Which here's our correct plug. I didn't have this off of the truck because I threw it away. It's gone. So this is off of a junkyard E350. There goes the green. And now you're probably good.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See that? Now try to drag that back over like you're doing. I think you'd probably be good right there. Grab that sharp bit off there. Yeah, there you go.
Like that?
Yeah, it looks good. Good job.
Little guy.
Heat gone?
He gone. Can I do it?
Yes. It's got two settings. It's just like a hairdryer.
I know how to use that.
And then it'll melt anything behind you. Like if you get too close to the plastic, it'll melt it.
Yep.
It is hotter than a hairdryer.
A lot hotter than a hairdryer.
I'm not gonna burn you if you're holding it.
Unless you pointed at me for a long time. You'll be fine. And you really want the ends to close up. So then it's waterproof. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes. Good job.
Yay.
Like that. Looks pretty good.
So how do we know if it worked?
Just start it up and run it and see if it's running better. But yeah, that is a good question. How will we know? It really just depends on how it runs. Step one is to get it to start.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you want to start it?
Yes. Alright, one of the ongoing things with this swap is just soldering our wire connections. I had to do a lot of custom wiring to get the V10 to jive with the Mustang. But as you can see, it's a lot of wire nuts, which I don't like. So we're gonna start soldering up and getting rid of the wire nuts and doing that a little more permanent. We gotta drop out this fuel tank because my fuel gauge isn't working. Hopefully it's hollow. I forgot how much fuel line I had to run back here too. Since the Mustang had a computer controlled fuel pump, I wired in a hardwired one that runs all the time, which is what the trucks did, and then you have to run a return fuel line back to the tank because the V10 the excess gas just gets returned to the tank, and it's not a variable speed pump like the Mustang one is designed to be. It'll help everything if this is actually empty. okay. Man, gas smells awesome. There we go. Come on out. Come on out. Jesus, I'm gonna smell the gas for a week. If you wouldn't mind going in the car and starting it up and watching the gauge, I'm gonna try to mess with it and see if it's working at all. Oh, the needle went all the way to flow at a time. Halfway. I actually think it's working. Okay, could you do it again? We'll try it on E.
I think it's got to kind of reset.
Right.
All right, that's on E.
Fuel light on too?
Fuel light is on.
Okay.
That's just a little below half according to this.
Yeah, like a third. So it seems like it's working. So I was wondering if, like, when I reinstalled this, if I had the float wedged against the tank or something, you know? Because it was always pegged at like 3/4 more or less. So I wonder if it was like jammed some way. Okay, I think we reinstall it and try it again and orient it properly. I'm tempted to keep taking this shit apart and get this tank all the way out of here. Yep, that's all it is. Okay. I mean, from what I can actually see, pretty confident I have it oriented right. Alright, we got the fuel pump back in. Got it wired up, and we're just gonna make sure our pump and our gauge work well before we put this tank back in, because I don't want to have to do this again. That's a lot of gas. We got about 4 gallons out. That should make it a good bit easier to put back on. Okay, let it go your way. Go your way. Okay, go down, can you? Okay, now go up as high as you can and push my way kind of slow. Alright, there we go. Yep, that's exactly what we want. Yes, we look really good on this side. Okay, let's give it a shot, see if she starts. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm glad I quit yesterday because around like 9 p.m. I realized that I just didn't plug in one of the main plugs that comes off of the ECU. We'll get those plugged back in, start it up, probably take it for a test drive today. Alright, let's give it a shot. That test drive went pretty well. It ran like under 2,500 RPMs, ran the best it's ever ran. It ran totally normal, shifted good. The problem is once you get over, try to get over 3,000, so $2,800, $3,000, $3,500, it just cuts out. I'm not sure if I know exactly what the plan is right now, but
Made a lot of progress.
yeah, I made a lot of progress. I hope you guys liked the video. I like working on this thing, as frustrating as it can be sometimes, but we're gaining. Like I told everybody that I drove with, like I wouldn't be scared to actually drive this somewhere now. We'll get it. Thanks guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.
Should be gray and red.
That's just like a dingy puke color. I'm sure I'll edit out a lot of this, but I hate this fuel tank. And it's nothing wrong with the Mustang's design. I've just personally had a lot of problems and had to do a lot of work on this fuel tank. And half of that, well, I mean, I guess all of it's self-inflicted because I wanted to do this swap. We're having fun. We're here to have fun. Stop!
You can't see your head.
That's okay.
No, that's weird.